Anyway,
Okay.
you're up, Shinko.
Yeah, your turn, Shinko.
Yeah, sure. No, the topic today are really short. First of all, that the very first topic was how to get better at playing any game and any class. That's quite ambitious, but basically there are a couple of things that you can do outside of the game and in game to get better. The very first one is using add-ons like ArcDPS. They are these add-ons can allow you to see a bunch of numbers and statistics in real time. You can use those numbers to compare yourself with other people that are with the same class. So if you are Revenant, for example, you can compare damage. If you are Scrapper, you can compare cleanses. If you are Skirts, maybe you can compare strips and damage, and so on and so forth. I'm assuming that most of you have ArcDPS. If you don't have it installed, I will send a quick guide to how to set up and install it. One thing that is, I believe, important when you are playing with ArcDPS is that you can look at numbers in real time and adjust your gameplay, but to actually get better, you should probably enable logging and start saving your logs. There is a really nice website that I'm gonna share with you and see how it appears. Let me find the button to stream. So we share the screen, and I will share this one. Okay. Unfortunately, this part won't be recorded because I don't want to configure my OBS to record my screen as well. So this website, DPS report, you can upload a log that is created by ArcDPS. Basically, what it does, it replaces the fight. Like this is one of the fights from last raid. You can see the parties. You can see the boons conditions in real time. Like you can see boons conditions, the rotations that other people are using or that you are using, among other shitload of other informations. Like yeah, we are pushing in, we are moving, etc. You can pinpoint when people died, what happened, did they have many condis or many other things. After every single raid, Sasha and I go through the the best fights that we had or the worst ones, because they're both useful. And we go and check, I don't know, various statistics. Like for example, in this fight, we can see the damage. We can see the crit chance. For example, I noticed that Kenny doesn't have 100% crit chance. This is actual crit chance, so it's close to 90. So then I'm thinking, what's happening? Why? That number is not 100%. The same goes for Sash, because I know that our build works
Nice.
works with 100%, right? Then if I go to buffs, I can see that, for example, Sasha didn't have Fury.
Yeah.
So that explains it, right?
That
That
do it.
that there is an issue. The Fury uptime is not high enough, and that's an example for the DPSs. We can do exactly the same thing for the cleanses or any any support stats. Like I'm seeing, for example, that we had a shitload of cleansings on others, but Nox is lower. Why is it lower? I know why it is, because I already went through these logs, because he died. So
If you're dead, you don't cleanse.
if you're dead, you can cleanse. So that's an explanation, right? And then I could say the same, right? Why my cleanses is so much higher than Blue's one. Blue cleansed 1. Um, in this case, I also know the answer is that Blue didn't use shouts that much. In our build, shouts cleanses, so that explains. Then, whenever we notice things that are not exactly right, or if you want to learn a different class, oops, wrong button, play a summary. You can select any one of us. I select myself, so I stop calling out people. You can watch my rotation, exactly what I did during the fight. And then maybe you can compare it with yourself and see maybe, okay, he's doing this and that. Maybe he's swapping weapon frequently, or I don't know. I'm using these particular skills, and me as a fiber, maybe I don't do that. So maybe that's the difference with performance. This website is amazing for to spy on other people and see if everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like sometimes you notice that people are not swapping weapons, for example, or like, let me see. Yeah, we almost everybody swapped weapons. Good. Yeah, but maybe we can notice all sort of things, and that's also the base for my training sessions. If I ask you to join a particular training session, means that I've noticed in the logs that you're not doing something that you're supposed to be doing. It's really valuable tool, and it really helps with learning the difference between your performance and other member of your party. And
I think it's important to point out that the point of these logs and of using something like ArcDPS or any similar kind of add-on is not to, you know, to basically point fingers at people and say you did something wrong or you didn't do this or that or the other. It's a learning tool for yourself to see whether you are if there's something you could have done differently, or if you're maybe this is how you find out like weaknesses in builds, for example. You might see that if you're a damage dealer, your damage is, I don't know, a third of someone on the exact same class running perhaps the exact same build. And then you've got to ask, well, there's got to be an explanation for that. And it isn't always, so we say, user error. There could just be something that perhaps they're running a different food, or they have a different rotation, or something like that. And the only way you're going to find that out in order to help yourself improve and to keep like evolving as a player is to use something like this. So I'm going to say that I was very skeptical and I never used anything like this because I always saw it as sort of a like a punishment program, you know, to try and make people like feel bad about themselves. But ultimately, it's just a tool. It's just something that you use. So, you know, yes, there are people who maybe in like really hardcore GVG squads who might use it that way, use it as a way to call people out, to really push people in a much more aggressive manner. But it's also a really useful teaching tool. You know, I mean, sometimes, especially if you're learning a class, you don't know, you might not even know what you're doing wrong because you've never, you don't know how to do things right on that class yet. And then it can be really good for somebody else to take a look and say, okay, looks like the reason that you know, you died to conditions, even though you are a condition cleanser, is because you're not using this skill a lot, and this skill, you know, is one of your highest cleansing skills, for example. Or the reason that you're only getting um, this number of damage output is possibly because you didn't switch to double fire attunement on Weaver just before you dropped your highest bomb, which obviously means that you missed a damage modifier. So it could be anything as simple as that. Don't be intimidated by it. It takes a bit of getting used to, and you don't have to go into the nitty gritty like Shinko and I do, because there's two of us, and Shinko is good with numbers, so I let him do the really detailed stuff, and all I do is kind of advise a little bit and observe. But try and pick out for yourself what will help you. And if you have any questions about what that might be, you know, there's too much information for you, and you just want to know, how do I make sure that you know, I do the primary thing of my class in the squad. How do I make sure I do that to the best of my ability? There's probably a way to just pinpoint that and make sure that that filters out to help you find out what's most useful information.
Yeah. I've sent
That's fine.
the link to work in progress guide, but there's already the, let's say, the key information there, and there's also the link to the website. Well, just a little detail. When you actually have to upload a report, you can see that I'm actually using this. Remember to flag detail word versus word before starting the upload, and then it basically enables the word versus word mode, because otherwise this tool is mainly used for PvE. So if you are into that, I believe there are way more features that might be useful. Yes and no. There is no point if you want to share the logs. I mean, I could share the logs after every raid, and then there will be no point. But if you want to use those logs for yourself, and maybe what's interesting to me, since you know, I could upload all the logs, but quite often they are noisy, and just to actually look at the fight and see if there is something there. I know what I'm looking for, and that might be different from what other people are looking for. So, in theory, no, there's no point in in having more than one people, but in reality, yeah. Again, it's a learning tool, and I advise people to use it while they're learning the class to compare themselves. It's not limited to these raids. You can log all sort of open raid, and believe me, there are some useful information even there, because in the end you're still playing your class against other people. Maybe, I don't know, much better than the people in this raid. Who knows? So it's a learning tool. And with that, I mean, the next really important learning tool is recording yourself and watching it back after raid or after a couple of days, so that you can pinpoint the issues that you had. Usually that's helpful. While you are looking at the logs, you notice something, and maybe if you have the recording, you can see exactly in real time why that thing happened or why you react the way you did, how you position yourself compared to the enemy squad, things like that. Videos are amazing for that, and they are not only used by YouTubers to share their amazing kills outnumbered. In fact, the primary use for recording is to get better at the game, and then maybe you find some nice action and you want to share it with everybody else's. For that, we have a couple of channels that you can use as well. So, in the written version, there is a link to a YouTube video that explain exactly how to set up OBS, which is the recording tool that I'm using. Is really lightweight. Usually, if you can play the game, you should be able to record with OBS. Doesn't require that much CPU or processing power to work. To prevent an excuse, yes, but my PC is a potato. Usually it works even on potatoes PCs.
Evening all.
Evening, Knox.
Hey.
Hey.
Having said that, let's see if our yeah, we do have our overlord.
I'm just listening. Thank you.
Yeah, but you are coming in handy because my next topic are the commander calls, and since you
Yeah.
happen to be the commander that actually designed these calls,
Do we want to stay here? Sorry to interrupt, Shinko, but there's like a 16-man queue on this border now, 17 even. Do we want to stay here for now, or do you want to swap else?
I'll just take a look at the other borders and see what's going on.
Yeah, because here we have pure and
Duck, I think.
nope,
Oh,
and
that's-
ours.
Oh, ours. Sorry, ours.
It's all right. There's no one on Gandara Discord in this border, on your border, so I figured it was someone private.
Yeah, ours and pure, and ours is open on TeamSpeak.
Yeah. So we're
Blue and
basically
red.
looking at home, which doesn't look very active at the moment at all, or blue.
Yeah, we are looking at blue. So if you want to change, we are going blue because home has been like
Red
that.
for like a week.
Yeah,
All
no,
right, just jump over to blue for the
Go to
sake
blue?
of being able to go through
Yeah.
everything together.
sure.
But carry on with what you're doing, mate, because I'll chime in as and when you need me to.
Yeah, so the next topic, which is practical and should be interesting for everybody, is which skills you're supposed to be using based on the commander's call. Most of these calls are shared between commanders because in the end everybody say the same things, right? I suppose that that everybody knows what to do when the commander calls for empowers, especially guardians, right?
Yeah.
If you don't,
If
I
you
just
don't,
stand around and soak up all the might stacks.
actually, it's not as a stupid question as it might seem, because I've noticed that even when in our raid we call for empower and I'm not on Firebrand, I'm not receiving any might stack. So
Blame
Now-
your firebrand.
now What should we do when we call empower firebrands? Please, let me know.
L4 on your staff.
Cool. Yeah, well, we use empower. That's in the name. The hint is in the name. Yeah.
To be fair, I think the first time I ever did a raid, I wasn't sure what fucking skill I was using. I do now, but you know.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt saying that aloud.
You sound like a cool warrior.
And keeping things on cooldown is not always a good idea. Mash buttons inside things on cooldown. Nope, bad idea. Sorry.
After that, usually the commanders goes for stealth blast, sneaky, smoke blast, sneak is down, stealth gyro,
Invis.
gyro,
Invis.
invis. Yeah, invis as well. Yeah, which is even harder to. Well, anyway, I suppose that everybody knows what to do because I see this happening quite often. That's a call for the scalpers to use the stealth gyro, which is the elite skill. But for everybody else's, it means that we have to blast. And blasting can be done by guardians with the Holy Strike, can be done by heralds with armor 5, can be done by the scalpers with medkit or elixir gun. I don't think there is anybody else that can really blast on demand. But
Warriors.
Warriors with both Warhorn skills.
is it worth it?
Yep. Blast.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I know that it's blasting, but should you? That's
Usually I use the 4. Only horn 4. The
If it helps you reach cap stack, then stack cap, then yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, and it's not going to have any detriment to the squad.
yeah. My should you is that the charge probably will expire by the time you get
Engage.
to fight. Yeah, of course. If your squad doesn't have any firebrand or well, firebrand, you're fucked. But I mean, revenants, for example, yeah, sure, blast away. I'm sorry, Mac. It appears that you are alone in your party.
No, I just jumped into 5. Fuck you very much.
No, because that's this place for Nash.
Yeah, you're totally by yourself. Good luck with that.
After that, there are a couple of quotes that we often hear Commander says. Sometimes they say spike. They might use some kind of qualifiers like long range spike or range spike or whatever spike.
Range damage.
Range damage, yes. Well, clearly they are talking about some range classes. Do you guys have any clue they are talking about?
No.
Any range class that might want to talk and explain?
I think the rule is when you're calling for range spikes or range damage is that you
Yeah, but
drop
not
your-
cheating. Not cheating. Come on, guys. I know that you have a microphone. You can talk, and if you
That's
are
why I'm
saying
taking
something,
a long time to answer.
if you're saying something wrong, there's nobody that is going to judge you.
I know the answer, but I'm keeping my mouth shut.
What was the question? Just say it again.
When you're talking about spike,
hmm
who are going to do what?
Okay, so
range
guys,
spike, yeah.
Range
Just to-
spike, yeah.
rephrase the question. Okay, ping if you are a class that is involved in a range spike, ping one of your range spike skills into say chat now. It's nice and local, so nobody else sees it. I just want to see who pings and what skills come up. Okay, right. There you go. Got your answer.
Okay, when you're talking about spike, most of you guys linked the correct stuff. We are talking about a long range damage, like 1200 range. So whilst Nullfield are out of the picture right now because we are far away, we are talking about a spike, which means like instant damage. That is, it's meant to create downs, basically. Therefore, Revenant Phase Mesh, Scourges, if you have stuff, you can use marks. Those are 1200 range skills. Guardians, you can drop Disable or Swiftness, even if you are a support Firebrand. Because there the objective is to pop Aegis, not to damage. You could also use Holy Strike if you feel fancy. And for Weaver, I don't know about the Pyroclastic Blast, but I think that Sash linked it as well, so it might be correct. Yeah. Yeah,
Or
no,
maybe the
because
other way around.
I remember that is something like a projectile that runs. So
It's a fire field, so it's
Yeah.
very similar to lava font.
a spike is not a bomb. A bomb requires using all the other skills that you guys have mentioned already. So it
Highest
means
damage skills.
it means wells, it means meteors, it means coalescence of ruin, means everything that does shit lot of damage. Even better if it is a field, a person field. For Mesmers, no field, that's when you want to use it. When we are calling for a bomb rather than a spike, because you are not in range anyway.
So meteor shower is on Ellie is not a spike; it's a bomb.
Yeah.
Mainly because it has a long cast time, so it rules it out from the instant damage criteria.
For a rev, are you saying that coalescence isn't a range spike, even though it's
It is.
1200?
It
It
is.
is.
Coalescence, Phase Smash in that order.
Right, coalescence and drop
Phase Smash.
face smash, yeah. And
Yeah,
drop the hammer is different.
No. Yeah, that's a CC. It's too slow. It's not a spike. But remember on Rev, I'm just going to jump in here because somebody's mentioned Rev. Remember that Coalescence and Phase Smash go hand in hand. And by that, what I mean is the minute you've hit your Coalescence, you can just tap your Phase Smash. So if you just look out front towards the stairs now, hit your Coalescence, and then instantly hit your Phase Smash and activate it on a location in range, you'll see the skill doing that whole, like, weird shadowy thing until it decides to proc itself and then it activates. You don't have to suddenly quickly double tap 2 all the time and just keep on pressing 2 until it activates. It will just do it naturally. You've just got to make sure you're getting your location right. But both of those skills go hand in hand, one straight after the other.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, and when you got quickness, that will happen a lot faster.
Right, okay, dope.
Then the other calls that your commander says are quite intuitive because they relate to movement. So when you hear commander call for dodge, left, right, they are self-explanatory.
Oh, that's 50-50.
Yeah, but that's 50-50. So always keep an eye on the
tag.
on the tag, and do as the commander is doing rather than what he's saying. Because
Well, I see right could mean left and left could mean right.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick question, guys. Sorry, Shinko. I just want to double check. But it's all well and good knowing what a commander's asking for and what skills go into it, okay? But do you know why a com would ask for a spike as opposed to a bomb? If you don't, say no. If you do, say yes. And if you say yes, I'll ask you why. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But I just want to understand.
You don't get
No,
it.
I don't understand the difference because I don't
Right.
play
Okay.
a class that does as much damage like that. So
Right. So A spike is generally used, in my perspective, and the reason I use a spike, okay, I'm looking to generate instant downs at a particular range location without having to commit the whole group into that zone. The reason being, generally, we'll be outnumbered, and if we're even if we're even numbered, I want to try and gain a tactical advantage. Pulling off a synced spike, you're aiming to generate downs. It doesn't have to be mass, it can just be, 2s, 3s, in an ideal world 4 or maybe 5. But what you're looking at doing is creating a natural cleave zone, because that squad will want those players. And if you're at a ranged environment and you've just done that, they've got two choices. They either have to back the fuck off and you can cleave into those downs, or they've got to bunker down and they've got to focus res. That inherently creates a natural cleave zone, which gives us a chance to capitalize on that, put loads of CC into it, and then full bomb it. Okay, so a spike is used from me as a tactic in order to generate instant pressure on players, putting them down, forcing a comm out of what they wanted to do into something completely different on the spot. It's a spike because it's instant high pressure damage. It's something you can't heal through. You can block through it, you can evade it if you dodge at the right time and you can see it coming, but you can't heal through it. No healer in this game can heal through spike. I don't care how good you are and I don't care how much you can heal. If it's synced, someone is going to go down. It's RNG. But the minute they are down, their comm has to, or their group has to decide whether or not they're going to focus res and potentially get cleaved, or they're going to back off. They are really strong, but with spikes you can be punished massively because if they're not synced, they don't do a bloody thing. But that's why spikes are called for. A bomb is general. A bomb is a massive shit ton of damage in a consolidated area or moved over a consolidated area with the intent on generating massive amounts of downs. Make sense?
Yes,
Yep.
thank you for explaining that.
Alright. Carry on, mate. Sorry. I'll shut up.
It was actually done. I mean, we had 2 topics today.
Okay.
So
Just one
Cool.
quick question, if you don't mind. I'm fairly new to the Revan. Well, I'm very new. These facets, the ones I have running normally, are facet of light, facet of darkness, and facet of strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ones I have running all the time. Is there
Yep.
any situational stuff?
Does that leave you with any pips? Are you ticking anything, or does that take all of them away?
No, that they can stay up as long as I want.
Yeah, I know, but are you gaining any energy while they're up, or are you is
Yeah.
it consuming all 5 of them? You should have 1 pip left if you've got it the right way.
I'm getting Fury, Regeneration. Oh, sorry, wait a minute. Facet of Strength, Pulse, Might. But I'm getting
So-
Fury, Regeneration, and Might.
Right, so by pipping, what I mean is, the mechanic of the rev is the pips. The more pips you've got, the faster your energy generates.
Where do I see these pips?
On the crap, I'm not even on my rev.
Underneath F2 with the 20%.
They've got you should have 5 of them there.
Oh yeah, left and right of
Yeah,
the 20%.
And
Yep.
each time you use a facet or maintain an upkeep, you'll lose some of them, and that will slow your energy regeneration down.
Hold on, I'm just going to hit one now, and it's went up 25, 26. It's went to the right.
Right, okay. Give me a second. We got a map on this border. Queue on this border. No, we don't. Okay, fine. I need to jump into my rev because I hate saying things if I can't see it. Basically, the facets that you've said are the ones I would maintain as well, purely for the fact that if you suddenly get invis pushed, you've got your light that you don't have to worry about activating before you can consume it. So maintain those. Go back to your core question just while I'm logging into my rev.
Yeah.
for everybody else's that are not on Revenant, follow me because we are going a little bit out.
Mac, I think if you maintain the 3 facet, you don't get any energy.
Right, okay, 1 second.
No, you don't.
Consume darkness. And you're saying strength, aren't you? Okay, so that takes all your pips. Okay, fine. What I would suggest, you can maintain those 3, but you'll get no energy uptick. Okay, and you are right with those arrows. Okay, if they're pointing right-hand side of the 50%, then obviously you're upticking. If they're pointing down, then you're down-ticking, and you're going to lose the energy rather than gain it slowly or fast. Always make sure you maintain light and darkness, okay? Not through combat, just in general while you're in that legend, because through combat you're going to need to activate them as you go, okay? if you're happy maintaining 50% energy, knowing at some point that that's going to clear and it's going to zero out and all of these facets are going to go off cooldown, or you're going to have to switch out to your legends, then yes, maintain facet of strength. You'll pulse some might out to your squad, but you won't get an energy uptick. If you want to maintain a little bit of energy uptick to give you a chance to stay in that facet for longer for any particular reason, maintain facet of light, facet of darkness, and facet of elements. It'll give your squad some swiftness. It's a permanent thing from the firebrands anyway, so it's not truly needed. So you don't actually need to keep it active if you don't want to. But it means that if you use those 3 instead, you've at least got 1 tick of pip that you can uptick on.
Right.
It'll obviously move slower, but it's better than not having any at all. So if you're in a ranged environment and you're still in your dragon elite, and you've got 1 uptick, at least you know you're getting some energy back from the weapon skills that you're using, rather than knowing that at some point you're going to completely run out, full stop.
I'm getting that. I'm understanding, but I want
Dingo,
that
use your voice.
to be
Hold
on
on,
the right.
Say that again.
It'll
You can
face
follow
up-
me without me saying anything, guys. Come on. They're way less
Just maybe.
advanced.
I basically want it to be on the right, though. I want those white arrows to be on the right.
Ideally, yes, for uptick, but remember, jump into your Jalis for me for a second, okay?
2 seconds, mate. I'm dying.
Why are you here, Stevie? Stay in this boat with Mac. By the way, bomb down,
No,
guys.
When you're maintaining large amounts of upkeeps, because in your glint you can maintain all of them, you'll have a massive energy downtick, okay, but you can do it. The same goes with your dwarf. The second you use your vengeful hammers, it's intentional that it's going to eventually drain and sap all of your energy, because if it didn't, it would just be stupidly overpowered. But the second you start to maintain your vengeful hammers, you'll go on a downtick of 1. Yeah?
Right.
Don't be scared or worried if you start to see that you're down ticking on energy. It just means that your upkeeps are taking more than the energy can give to you. The revs mechanic means that you have to be very, very conscious of energy management, because if you're using all of your utilities, absorbing all of that energy and using it, you can't tap into your weapon skills. So you've got to have a really, really fine balance and understanding of how much energy each of those skills cost you, what the benefit is to using that skill, and when you need to switch your legends to replenish that energy pool.
Right. So
Okay?
I'm juggling this constantly then to keep the arrows up, but not at the expense of not doing damage, kind of thing.
Yeah, this is why I say, and I hate it when people turn around to me at some stage and go, "Oh, rev's one-sided, you just use your hammer." It pisses me off. It's so not. And it takes a lot to be able to really master it and get the full potential out of it. But you've got to remember that your energy management is the key. It's literally the lock and key to making the class work, being able to put your DPS out and being able to sustain your squad. It's maintaining an awareness of what you've got in terms of energy, what you can use, what's best to use, and when.
Right.
And we will be doing an independent revs class as well, so that will be coming up.